But hey, welcome everybody to TOR Hangout number 5. Number 5.
Excellent.
We're doing this for 5 weeks, so that's pretty awesome. Nice. Let's start and have everybody introduce themselves. We'll start at the very top, which is Brad. Who are you, bro?
Okay, I'm Brad from Ottawa, Ontario. Just a giant sort of geek who, of course, been into Star Wars since forever, since it came out before I was born. And, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Way to make us feel old.
Get off my lawn.
Look, Jeff came in. Dave, you're next on the...
What? I just got here. Can't go last.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, man. Dave Traney, 3rd, 4th tour, hangout. Can't wait. Let's do it. Huge fan.
Feel the excitement.
Good to see all you guys. I love you guys.
Much love.
Oh, that's me. I'm JJ, short for Jenny Jane. And I'm from Vancouver, Canada. And I'll be playing Sith, Imperial Agent, and the other side, a Trooper.
We're being overrun by Canadians.
That's right, eh?
Go hockey.
I love Canadians.
All right, Johnny, you're next. Who are you?
Hey everybody, I'm Johnny from Sith Vengeance, and we are a PvE East Coast guild for the Empire, and this is my 5th hangout, and having a great time.
Cool. Keely?
I'm Keely. I am our resident iguana murderer, and kayaker oath to the store because QS keeps trying to think on me. And I'm no longer the youngest person here, so you guys can't make fun of me anymore because Crag is the youngest, probably. Well, Matt. Sorry, I'll forever call you Crag, dude.
Iguana killing? What did I miss?
Lewis is next.
Iguana.
I'm Lewis. This is my beard, and I think in my beard, an iguana lives.
Oh. I get killed, dude. I get killed.
Nice. Is it a launch iguana?
Ah! Sorry.
All right, a new face. Go ahead, Matthew. Why don't you introduce yourself? Except he's muted. He's typing.
Oh, wait. Matthew, no mic. Even though he's wearing one.
Oh, look, she brought the iguana she ran over.
Whoa.
Wow, I'm scared now. Wait, before we go on, Johnny's got to pimp his headset. Johnny, are those new headsets? Is that a new headset, Johnny? What's going on, dude? Did you spend $120 on a new headset, dude?
Okay, calm down. I did use my Amazon points to get a free Logitech G930 headset, so I'm now walking promotion for Amazon.com.
Nice.
Okay, here's my promotion, by the way. It's my turn. I'm Mike, and I'm the GM of Redeemed, and I kind of threw this thing together, and here's my little Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi,
Is that a Razer?
No, look, you can probably...
Oh, it's the WoW set. Oh.
What is going on?
Hold on. I want to show you something. What's not on my ears?
Yeah.
These
But you own them!
They're a good headset, but they're going to be really good for the winter. These cans, oh my word, they're very insulated. And the battery life tends to go down. Well, hi everybody. Welcome again to the TOR Hangout number 5. We've got so much stuff to talk about today, and I'm just going to kind of throw it out there and say, oh my word. First of all, we've got 2 main topics, and let's talk about the NDA first situation. No breaking of NDA. No breaking of NDA. We're going to have to mute Johnny.
Let me break it.
Oh my god.
What were you going to say, Dave?
Let me break it, Mike. Let me break the NDA.
Well, we can't. There's some more stuff we can talk about than we could have in the past because it's out there in the total open, but it's still a very vicarious thing. As a matter of fact, I was reading a yellow post by Allison, which was talking about the NDA because somebody went on the main forums and was saying, "Oh, what does the NDA mean? And are we all under it because we breathe?" and type thing like that. But we'll talk about that stuff in a second. But there's two huge things that happened this week, circling around TOR. One of them, not necessarily, but it has a huge impact, and you guys can guess what that is. Let's first talk about that BioWare had this embargo set for the media, certain media, mainly the large gaming and some other non-gaming, some mainstream tech media had a go at the game, and they were able to play the Republic side, Origin World, Tython, and up to Coruscant, and they flooded the internet the day before. Or was it 2 days? The day or 2 days before BlizzCon? It was 2 days before.
It was
nice timing.
The day before.
It was the day. They flooded the internet with all this information, and if you were on Google Plus, as all of us here are, you notice all the stuff that Melissa and I were trying to post stuff, and a couple others were just trying to get the information out there and all these great things. So what did you guys think? First of all, I didn't know about the embargo. I don't think many people did, except for a few of them that were in it. And what are your opinions about the information that was released from the so-called media?
Actually, really quick, can I just add one thing to that before we go?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was 2 weeks. They could play beyond level 15 or level 16 or whatever with the first planet, the first two planets, but they could only report up to that point. So they were allowed to play as far as they could over 2 weeks, but they could only report up to the second planet or something.
Okay. All right, so what did you guys think about it?
I thought it was limited.
Did you guys? I know you guys are getting really shy today. What did you learn, or what was not new information, and what were you disappointed with?
Should we let Brad go first? Go down the line, or how do you want to do it?
Sure.
I could talk for hours, by the way. But
I got nothing for now, so just.
Well, there was no Empire stuff.
Yeah, it was. Though that was the other thing too. It was all Republic. They were only allowed to play Republic.
They did seem to have it pretty hampered in, so that they made sure that they released only certain information. I know that I don't remember whose blog it was, but there was one blog that went up that they had to suddenly pull all the pictures off because they were only allowed to use still images that had been released by BioWare.
Yeah,
so
they weren't allowed to take any of their own.
Okay. So they released like a media kit.
I think so. Well, there is a media kit out there, and I think it's pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from my point of view, I think one of the things that I was really surprised with is that it was kind of like canned and very limited and very controlled for, like, what is it, up to 15 or 20 of just Republic. And I think that was something that was really unfair. I'm not really sure why they decided to leave Empire out, because really Empire 15 to 20, you've got that pretty much locked down, I think. So I don't, I'm not a big fan of what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I agree with Johnny. It was very canned, and it was very focused. And why they only focused on just the Republic and not the Sith or the Empire, it's just odd.
You know what it seemed more to me was that there was a big spike of BlizzCon WoW coming up, and I feel that this was more of like, I hate to say it, but it just seemed more of like a stunt than a real, honest, straightforward communication with the community.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, how many of you guys... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, what I was going to say was kind of the same thing. It was basically more like to get everybody excited, ooh, tomorrow the embargo's up, which brought up the chatter about TOR. And then when on the day it came out, of course, everybody is looking for information on Star Wars. They're, talking about it, and then it's kind of overriding the BlizzCon.
Or tried to override it, but that's actually a great idea. That's genius. Nice job.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
She nailed it.
So I totally agree, and I think that they were just trying to get their name out there, make people aware.
You can't hate them for it. It was a good plan.
Yeah,
you're right. It was great marketing.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
But here's the question, though: did it work? Was it enough to stop the lizard?
No. no! Oh my God!
I originally thought it was, even after the fact. We'll get into the Blizzard stuff in a little bit. Until I read something. I read something on somebody's blog, one of the media ones. I think it was Massively, and their blurb in it was, "Well, Blizzard stole the show for the week." And I'm like, wait, there was a whole slew of information just 2 days beforehand. But yeah, it's two juggernauts.
Yeah.
I do think it was a very tactical move on their part, and some would say it's bad. But you know what? I think it actually did what they wanted to, and the fact that they narrowed it to one side. BioWare's still controlling the flow of the information. They still have stuff. Now, if we were to go down the line here and say who's Republic and who's Sith in this room, I can already tell you that if you just look at the general population and stuff, it's not quite balanced. We may have some imbalancing issues, and so that's probably maybe why they're waiting on Sith. I don't know, but the information will get there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really surprised that that's such a predominant issue.
Oh, the balance?
Well, yeah, that most people are going to want to play Empire.
Well, I think, because I think there's been a ton of polls. I think if PvE, I think the majority is Republic, like 60-40, and then on PvP, the majority is Sith versus like 60-40 on the other side. I mean, I could be wrong. Louis, JJ?
Yeah, those sound like good numbers.
Well, I think the real issue will be, you know, what information will they start to pan out now? Because, okay, BlizzCon's come and gone. That's gonna take a little while to gestate over the minds of the gamers, and then you have this. Now we're waiting on the Sith information, or we're waiting on more information. So there's more to be released. Whereas BlizzCon was kind of like they threw their junk out there early, all out there. It's all out there.
All of it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much I want to say about that, but I don't want to get into that yet. I still want to come
Yeah. I agree, Mike.
But I think it's definitely one of those things. Oh, sorry. There's definitely one of those things where, you know, there is so much information that still has to come out. I mean, we're just getting little trinkles of stuff like the dressing room and the targeting and those things are just trickling out now. Which, in the case of WoW, those things have been around. Everything's been around. So Blizzard has to go another step further because it's like, well, what are you going to give me now? Mm-hmm. Whereas, you know, BioWare and EA don't have to do that because everything is absolutely new. So every little bit comes out. You see a flashpoint, like they've been demoing the flashpoints. Oh my God, that's beautiful in every way. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited by that. And now we're talking about dressing rooms, we're talking about those other aspects, and those will be trickling in. And then there's this whole thing about the Sith. When that comes, that's a game changer.
And plus, when it does come, it's going to be such a strategic time. It's going to continue to keep the excitement up because, as we've known, many of us have been following this game for a long time, and there's been this ebb and flow of, people excited about it, and then it wanes a little bit, and then something else comes out. They are doing a fantastic job of getting the information out there in breadcrumbs, just enough to keep people going. So I think they're doing a great job on it. And Melissa made it in. She was one of my cohorts, posting links left and right. What do you think? What are your opinions and your take on the embargo lifting, and what did you come away from that since you finally were able to make it into the Hangout?
What I took is there was a lot of information. Unfortunately, most of the things that I read were like the bad reviews, the haters of it. And I didn't get around to reading all the good stuff because I felt like it was Republic. I didn't care too much. I was like, oh, it's just a smuggler. Where's my Sith?
Okay. And I tried to read all of the reviews I could, and my frustration predominantly came in a lot of uninformed, or I guess I have to agree with the guys on the TOR cast podcast. They were talking about the professional media. These are guys that aren't necessarily MMO players, and so their take on what was going on in the game doesn't completely fit. You know, they may know how to do a first-person shooter till the cows come home, but they missed a lot of stuff in that. And as a beta player, I'm like, no, that's wrong, but I can't say anything, you know.
Yeah. I like that one review where I think I posted a quote of his where he was talking about it took him 4 hours to get from level 6 to level 7, and I was just like, I mean, how do you do that? You have to. And he said he was just playing the story. It's like, well, that's your problem. You were only playing the storyline. You weren't playing all the extra quests.
Yep.
4 hours to get. Anyway, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was released. Tons of stuff still out there, and it's interesting to see some of the feedback from other blogs and other people that were responding to these replies. So it was definitely a nice bubble of information. Anything else anybody can remember from the embargo lift that you want to mention before we move on to the next?
Yeah. Just one thing, Mike. There was that whole announcement about, hey, SWTOR is just like WoW.
Oh, yeah, the comparisons of...
Oh, that one.
And somehow that was supposed to be a big sell.
Yeah, SWTOR is WoW with lightsabers.
Right, yes, thank you.
WoW with Star Wars paint is the most common description I've seen, and it just makes me want to strangle someone.
Well, it's no longer like WoW since WoW's going to have Pokemon battles.
Yay! Well, I choose you!
You just derailed me there. The conversation about the WoW comparison, this is something that, as community builders, we have to continue to battle because there's those two polarizing factors, the uber fanboys on either side, when in actuality we should have enough room in the middle, and we know that, WoW, Blizzard, fantastic company, fantastic game. I'm not going to say it's not just because I like Star Wars and I'm looking forward to it. That would be stupid. The fact of the matter is, WoW borrowed from other games predating it, also has borrowed from games past it. That's one of the things we'll talk about after this next deal. They're actually already starting to borrow from SWTOR, which is amazing.
With the monk class, they don't get an auto attack, just like in Star Wars. There is no auto attack.
So all this, all these people saying it's WoW without this. The good thing is there are people out there who don't get as hyper about it as some, and they may see that as a positive because that's the only MMO they've ever played and ever known. And so when they look at a new game, I mean, we go back to the story when I told you guys about when I played Eve, and I've been playing MMOs for 6-7 years. I played Eve, and I played it for like 2 hours, and I couldn't get out of the stinking ship. That said, no, that's not the game for me. People are going to look at other games and say, is it's too hard for me? Is the learning curve too high? Some folks, that's really exciting too. Then it may be, for some, this is too dumbed down or whatnot. I think SWTOR's got a combination of both. So does it play like WoW? Sure, and some of the mechanics and the fact that, hey, guess what? You just picked up a quest to go kill 10 rats, and that one of the best quotes that everybody keeps, posting is, you have to go kill 10 rats, and it's the same type of quest line, but you care while you're killing those 10 rats.
But don't you forget about it though? Isn't it? You forget you're killing 10 rats, and you're just like wrapped up, like, oh my goodness.
All right, I'm gonna say this by analogizing another game, Mass Effect. Because I could talk about that since it's the same type of system. With this type of system, once you do the story thing, I can tell you, I'm the kind of guy in WoW or in Lotro, I get my quest, click, 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 and I look at the tracker, and I look at the map, and I say, okay, I got to go kill this. I know where to go. I forget about the story, especially since I played it so long. With Mass Effect, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I get them, and I get the whole thing playing out, and I actually find myself, the Mr. Grab the Quest and Run guy, going, hey, wow. And when I come back, I actually remember. My wife's great at this. When she plays, WoW, she reads, and she takes her time, and she knows what's going on. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. But with Mass Effect, almost said it, it's... I actually know what's going on afterwards, and I want to see what happened after I killed those 10 rats and came back to them.
Well, I think it also kind of goes with the idea of voice acting. If you have really good voice acting like Mass Effect, it just leaves a little bit in you. So when you're doing it, it's like, yeah, I'm killing rats. I'm getting zebra hooves. But there's a little bit weight.
And they're using the voices from the books, right? The Deceived and Fatal Alliance?
Huh?
They're using the voices from the Fatal Alliance and Deceived?
You mean the intro cinematics?
No, the voice talent from those books are going to be in SWTOR.
I don't know if he's actually one of the voice actors or not. I think he just does book reading. Tom.
Oh, okay.
No, TOR actually has actors for pretty much every single NPC in the game.
Fem Shepard is the female trooper.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she's also Satil Shan.
Isn't that a different one? Oh, no, you're right. She is Satil Shan.
Satil Shan, yeah.
I was thinking for some reason, the Twi'lek.
My whole thing I'm excited about with the voice acting is they're building the game with the voice acting will be in it, period. So it's not going to be one of those that you go into a dungeon and you hear someone doing the most awful voice acting in the world. If anyone's played Rift and Charmer's Caldera, you know what I'm talking about. It makes you laugh every time or want to pull your hair out, depending on how many runs you've done in the game. So I'm really excited about the good voice acting going to be happening in it, or at least I feel it.
Nice.
There's some... Yeah, shutting up.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, if there's something bad about some voice acting in the game, when we're as a group, I'll do the talking.
Thank you, Lewis.
You're welcome.
Okay, so embargo's lifted, a lot of information came out, and they're going to continue to be writing more. There's another embargo in place. And the funny thing is, when they talked about the embargo being lifted, it was a partial NDA lift, and it wasn't really a huge one after all. Like we said, there's a lot of stuff they couldn't talk about, stuff that those of us in beta are like, ah! All right, so...
And they didn't talk about romancing. So, is that within the first 15 levels? I didn't see anything about that.
Maybe it just took longer than the time that they had to play to romance.
Yeah, that romancing takes time.
Especially with Jawas.
You do it right. Wait, what?
I just hope it's not hard like Mass Effect 2. I found that ridiculously hard to romance.
No, it was. I mean, you just got to go see them after every mission, and you do it enough times, and you'll just have them by the beginning of the second act.
I think Garrus.
I could see.
I kept doing something wrong.
Yeah, I could see this. Somebody invests hours in this character, and they wanted to romance this one tune, and they screwed up somewhere along the way with their level 45. It's like, ah! Reroll. No, that would be hardcore.
Welcome to my life.
That would be.
All right. Well, we have managed to talk about that pretty well. Now there's another elephant in the room. How many of us watched BlizzCon? I did. I watched the opening ceremony thing on DirecTV. I didn't pay for it. I just did the one deal. Now, talk about positioning. And talk about, and this is all us speculating, but the speculation is pretty good. Wow, what did you think about Blizzard's announcement and expansions and some of the tricks that they're trying to do to maintain subscribers? Anybody want to kick this off? Remember, we were a TOR Hangout.
This is an expansion? It looked like it was a patch.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
I agree.
There's no big bad guy. Ooh, it's just a new starting area for a new race. I mean, this just looks like an expanded patch, like what patch 2.0 was back in Wrath of the Lich King.
I can't argue the no big boss thing. I can't, but I could probably argue everything else.
I mean, it took them long enough to...
Some people are probably really into the Pandera thing. I'm not. It's actually a lore breaker for me because that's not part of the universe that I play, but that's besides the point. Let's go back and let's talk about one of the first things that they did is when Mike Morhaime announced this, you can get Diablo 3 for free if you buy into the 1-year subscription plan.
Beautiful.
Interesting move.
Genius.
That's an interesting move.
Do not pay attention to what I'm doing at this hand. Let's look here.
Yeah. It's genius. It really is genius. So,
and it's working.
Because
it is working.
It is working. Oh yeah, but if you do
wait, I got an email today saying rejoin, resub.
I did too.
So they're giving away 14-day and I think 30-day.
Yep. I didn't get one.
They already have free to play until level 20.
They do.
It's not really. It's a sneaky free to play. It's almost like you play it for 20 levels and you're like, yeah, this is great, but then you actually have to pay for the game and the subscription. It's a sneaky free to play move.
Right. Don't look at this hand.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Probably the worst one to talk about this because I never played Diablo. It's not a game I'm looking forward to, so it's not a big deal for me. But I know there are some people out there. But somebody did the math.
Definitely good.
Somebody did the math, and actually, if you just buy Diablo 3 and then pay your subscription for Star Wars, if you've already pre-ordered it, it's just like Lou said. It's a sleight of hand thing. What they're trying to do is get you locked into a month-to-month deal. Now, I talked to Tanya about this. We were driving home from church, and I said, let's think about how they're doing this. You lock into a year plan, but you can pay monthly. There's a lot of folks that will do that and not play, like myself. I actually started watching BlizzCon with the thing in the back of my head thinking, oh, maybe I'll play a little bit till SWTOR comes out. And then knowing that, because then all I'll do is I'll log in, I'll stare at my screen or go do dailies.
And dream about SWTOR.
I'm not the only one. Blizzard is losing, thousands of players on a monthly basis, if not a weekly basis. They are losing people because of interest, and it's not a bad or good thing. That's what happens when you have such a mass of people that are already subscribed to a game. You're going to get a big influx of players in and out, and right now they are getting an influx of amount. So then they put this little teaser out there. If you want Diablo 3 and you want it free, and you get this really cool mount, which I have to admit that mount does look cool. Yeah, free. Sign up for a year's subscription, locking you in. So then later on, when SWTOR does come out, and you're sitting there, and not everybody has a lot of disposable income, and they have to make a decision on what they're going to spend their money on. Well, I may not log in and play WoW very often, but man, I've got to pay this for a year, and so I'll just wait on Star Wars and whatnot. So that's
genius.
Marketing 101 right there.
And they have a secret weapon, too, because if this doesn't work enough, if it doesn't meet their number target for retention, they could throw in a free StarCraft.
Well, they already... I have StarCraft on my machine, or I do, because you can play it to a certain level for free now, too, right?
They have the StarCraft starter.
Another game I don't really get into. But, all right, so that was one of the things. There you go. They dropped that bomb. So that is, in my opinion, a way for them to try to retain subscribers, even though they may not be playing it.
Right.
And when Chris Metzen came up, I'm a huge Chris Metzen fan. As a matter of fact, I have a good friend who knows Chris and knows him quite well. And Chris is just, to me, he's an awesome guy. But when I watched him during this particular session, it almost looked like he was laboring to get this out.
It was awkward.
It was. He kept going on about other stuff and doing his dramatic pauses and everything he does so well. But then when it came to the announcement, it's like, really? What?
Yeah. It's almost like they didn't have the confidence in what they were saying.
Well, that's a lot of the speculations going out there. First of all, they're doing this so quickly. And as Melissa said, and I kind of agree with, this feels more like a patch, a big major patch section than an expansion. They're redoing the talent system yet again. I finally looked at it today on Wowhead. I was looking at some design stuff on their website, and I looked at their talent sheet. I'm going, you've got to be stinking kidding me. What happened to those huge long trees we had to sweat blood and tears over back in the day? And now it's just, okay, I got to choose one of these 3 points, and then 10 more levels. I'm like, holy cow.
What?
It's so simple. And that's the thing, a lot of people are saying that this expansion's bringing in a lot for casuals. And I'm not going to get into that argument because casual and hardcore, I had a discussion
did they say, do pandas start at 55 or 70?
Did they ever say?
You go 1
They're
through
not
10, and then you decide Horde or Alliance.
Yes.
So it definitely starts at 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it starts at 1. You have to play all 90 levels.
Yeah, let's talk about that. 5 levels. 5 levels.
I think so. I think the reason that they're doing 5, and I was talking to my husband about this, we're getting into such high levels with that people are having to just, play through these dead expansions. Mm-hmm. Like, even when I started playing at Wrath of the Lich King, and, help me, I've completely just lost the name of the one before
Burning
that.
Crusade.
Burning Crusade was absolutely dead. It was the most boring, like 10 or 15 levels.
It's empty zones.
I'll spend 6 hours in BC.
When you played, you should have seen Death Knight after Death Knight.
I think the problem they did was jumping to 10 levels each expansion at first. I think that was a really bad choice because now they're trying to kind of slow it down and go back and bring it down a little bit so people aren't having to trudge through massive amount of levels just to get to the actual active content.
And the other thing that they always said too is that the highest they ever wanted to go was level 100. So they're also reaching a point too where
they've got another expansion, a real expansion that they want to pull out eventually.
So. I think that they really need to concentrate more on the game that they have instead of putting an expansion out every 2 years. I mean, by the end of the second year, I think they need to slow down with the expansions and actually work on what they got.
You know what I find my problem with WoW is it's not the content. I enjoy the content till I still could go in there and level and do my stuff. It's actually the people in WoW. The asshats, that is why I left. I can't stand people in WoW. And it's not everyone, of course. We all know that. But there's just enough of them that I left.
I'm sure if you keep looking, you could find a right match. It's just finding the right community, the right server, the right time.
I do PvP,
I think
so I'm in
I think the issue is, JJ's on a PvP server, and I agree, the PvP servers are a nightmare with certain types of people. And
so all of them are a nightmare.
Not all of them.
Everyone I've been on the last year, for sure.
Well, if you ever go to a PvP general, just log on, create a character, and go to Ogremar.
My main is on a PvP.
Oh my gosh. Which server?
I actually haven't been playing him, so I even forgot.
I'd switch over. I actually would switch over just to play with someone decent, but oh my gosh, I'm with JJ. That's one of the reasons I quit.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the same way. And then even when I was playing, I spent literally months trying to find groups to play with, trying to research what's a good which a good server environment still and whatnot. And it does come down to the people. Now we could have the same problem when it comes to SWTOR, but that's again why we have to do our best to try to encourage the community to not be asshats and do stuff cool and whatnot.
Well, I think one of the problems with WoW was unlike EverQuest, was the fact that there was so much information given to the public so quickly. There was no hiding this is how you handle this boss, and you keep it within your small group. This WoW was different. WoW was put it all out there so that a guy who's never really played the game can tell me how to tank. Because he read it at Tank Spot. He read an article and now he knows. It's wait a minute, you have this talent over here. You're not. That's why I think that starts it, and then you just have the immaturity that just kind of bellies up to that, and then it kind of progresses. Well, that could happen in SWTOR because it's simply you have the same kind of community. You have the same kind of rampant fans that you had a year or two into Warcraft. So you had that fan base already there who's already trying to min-max, who's already trying to say what you should do. Whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know.
I was going to say, the thing is, it seems like the Star Wars community, though, has had a lot more time to grow, and it's grown off of movies and all this other genre, whereas Warcraft grew off of a strategy game that was very competitive.
That's a good point. Also, besides that, having that germination of that happening beforehand in the lore is much older for us than the lore was for Warcraft, so the story was there. But also the fact that we've had all this time ahead of the product's release to develop the community. I don't remember many other games, Ion and Rift included, that had such a upwelling of community building already before the game came out. There was some, and you can't deny the fact that people were preparing, but there have been podcasts and blogs that have been covering this game for 2.5, 3 years, if not as soon as it was mentioned that it was going to be coming out. So that in itself, you've got a point.
The guild tools, because on SOTOR.com you could start a guild and they'll give you free public forums, so you can start building your whole community. All the tools are there.
Free public forums that only 2 or 3 guilds are actually using.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does anyone here in their guild actually use that? Because my guild actually moved from guild launch to engine, and we don't even touch the main site.
Guys in my guild don't know how to use it.
I actually found one guild that is relying on the public forums. So yes, they're out there. Yes, they're out there.
And that could be dangerous because from what I remember in the
and the response was, I hope BioWare doesn't take this away.
Yeah, that's one thing I want. They are going to be taking away the recruitment section for sure. I don't know about the actual forums, but yeah. All right, so there's the 5 levels. Now, you made a good point about the 5 levels. Now, Cataclysm only had 5 levels, but then we have to tip our hats that they did a massive amount of work in revamping the 1 through 60 content, and they did a good job on that too. Although once you go through it once or twice, you're already used to it and you know the deal. And so 5 levels, but for me, it was so disappointing. It's like, okay, you're doing a continent, which reminds me of Outlands, and a new race that's got a new mechanic that I don't even know anything about. The monk, everybody's going to say, you're a noob. It's like, okay. And that's it. No, the way that they're going to be revamping the PvP system and making this whole war thing. And that was the other thing. You know, Chris kept going on about, and then the Pandorans are going to help us to deal with each other, but yet they're both Alliance and Horde. It's like, wow, it just to me felt like Blizzard's really stretching and really trying to hold on to what they can. I was very disappointed because I would have expected for them to really gone gung-ho with Titan and get some information out there, because that's going to be one to look out for. But we don't know anything about it.
But it's classic Blizzard, though. If they're not ready, they don't care what the market's like. They just won't show it.
But you guys saw the leak for Titan, right?
Well, I saw some
the leak about the Titan is a platform, not so much an MMO.
Oh, really?
Of course. No. It's going to be a platform too.
So I think if you look at my posts, you'll find it in there.
Okay.
Look for Titan leak.
I don't know. I think they had the Pandorans be on both sides just because of the rabid fan base for the Pandorans since Warcraft 3, and it's just like, well, if you put it on one side, everyone's going to go to that side, and it's going to be totally imbalanced. So that's fine. That works. It lore-wise and like social-wise, it doesn't work, but gameplay and fan base, it works.
Well, in the end, the game is not about its lore or making sense. I mean, the fact that...
Oh, God, no.
You know, so the very fact that you're going to have Pandorans on the Horde side who speak a different dialect of Pandaren.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, yeah, between the Horde, it's kind of...
And, you know... Well, Blizzard's good at retconning lore anyways, and that's fine. They created that lore. The community, some folks will get up in arms, but I'll tell you, there are some other communities that get more up in arms. First community I can think of is the Lord of the Rings Online. You do not screw with Lord of the Rings lore, or else you are going to get hard.
There's some of that going on with Star Wars, too, right? They want to bring back Darth Maul in Clone Wars.
Oh, God, no. Don't. No.
The funny thing about that is all the true fans are up in arms about the lore breaks, but the creator of the lore himself, George Lucas, hey, whatever.
Wasn't Darth Maul already brought back? No. Wasn't Darth Maul already brought back with like goat legs and really big horns in one of the books?
It's dollar bills, yo.
I think JJ.
And when he was brought back, he actually fought Vader in an ancient temple. And then there's another one he was brought back, and he had the mechano legs and all that.
Oh, wow.
So 2 times he's been brought back. But one's not real because it was infinite, so...
I can forgive the Clone Wars if it wasn't canon for all this stuff, because it's like, oh, the kids have seen the movies. They want to see these characters. They want to see the Chewie. They want to see Darth Maul. We'll put it in here. But no, it's canon. So it's going to be in the lore. You can't just brush it off. It's there.
Which is
but Darth Revan was a female. The way I played.
No.
Me too.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But lore is.
Lore
is.
Oh boy.
Oh wait. Keely hasn't played it. Do I need to shut up, Keely?
Should I just close my ears for a second because I haven't finished playing it yet?
Oh my God, woman!
I know. I am probably everyone wants to smack over the head with a newspaper right now, but I'm working on it.
Wait. How far are you, and what has happened?
Basically nothing because I haven't had time to play. So
are you on Terrace?
No. Wait, no. I am in the very beginning. Let's see. I am just now about to go back and be a horrible person and collect a bounty on someone that is in the apartments.
Oh,
okay. So you're still on Terrace.
Yeah.
You're still in the beginning.
Beat you into a pulp.
All right.
What was that?
We will shut up.
Okay, I said good luck as they beat you into a pulp.
Yes, I'm sorry. I can leave.
Okay, no.
But hey, if you want to talk about bad canon, and JJ, this is where you step in, because there's a comic that I read a long, long time ago
in a
where the
galaxy
Emperor
far, far away
actually comes back. I mean, Vader kills him, but he
Dark
comes
Empire,
back. Is it Dark Empire?
I
and
think
then
Dark
Skywalker.
Empire. Yeah, it's
Skywalker
horrible.
goes evil.
Yeah,
and
it's horrible.
It was just, I was reading it like, are you kidding me? And I think it actually is canon, and it was just, it's. That was our Darth Maul.
That again too, Dark Horse.
You know what was really good canon breaking? The DLC in what is it? That Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed 2, the DLC. That was hilarious. Just going in and killing Chewie.
Okay, but really quick before we get back to Mike's agenda, did you like the Force Unleashed 2?
I actually didn't get around to playing it. I only saw a lot of the. I saw the DLC. Okay. I played the Force Unleashed 1. First one was good. Second one was actually okay, but yeah, it was a little repetitive. All right. Sorry, Mike. All you.
That's all right. I'm trying to remember what all we're talking about. The Blizzard break and all that stuff. So 5 levels, new continent, new class. It's played by both. What do you think this is going to mean for Star Wars, The Old Republic? And do we worry about this grab? Or what do y'all take from it?
Well, I think once people start to get to that 90 level, it's going to be interesting to see how Blizzard holds it because they don't have any major storyline. They don't have a major boss. They don't have Deathwing or an Arthas.
Yeah.
No so bosses. How do you? Yeah, it's going to be like real world dragons flying about the countryside.
Right. Yeah. There's no boss.
But we have a new mini game. Wow.
Oh my God, Pokemon! I demand my Pokemon MMO.
Here's another thing that we could borrow from SOTOR. I mean, we've got a side game in SOTOR, Space Combat. Here's a side game for that. It's I don't know. I'm disappointed.
So far, what I've seen with the space mini game is that it still needs some improvement.
I mean, it's a mini game. As long as it's not as bad as the speeder races in KOTOR, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
As long as it's not that, it's just a mini game. There's a whole other game.
But really quick, to add on to Lewis's comment, I don't think that BioWare needs to be worried because they basically think the people who are going to go after this year annually and stick with WoW are the guys that they're invested in it anyways, and Star Wars doesn't appeal to them anyways. So I think that deal, it's already set up for them anyways. For us, so what?
Okay. What else? What else do we see
about WoW, and which I hope Star Wars doesn't do is the rewards. I worked so hard to get all these mounts to get the white proto dragon, and I was so bleeping proud of it for one expansion, and then the next one rolled around, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry had a friggin' proto dragon, and it just I remember thinking I wasted so much retarded time.
Right.
Yeah.
Farming for things and getting money to get rep and honor, and it's just worthless. And I really hope Star Wars doesn't go down that road. And maybe if there is one thing, it is uber special, and that's it. I don't think everyone has to get it just to appease the masses.
Mm-hmm. Along that line, I think one of the questions is whether they're going to have an online store with transactions for extra speeder bikes or land speeders. Are they going to do this kind of real-world transactions in addition to the game? That way, it doesn't matter if you're going to spend 3 months trying to get this mount or just buy it. So that dilutes your work. There's
been no comment on that one way or the other. I think I'm I'm on a mixed motion. I would rather not see it. I just rather have everything kind of self-contained in game. But yet, at the same time, you look at the model that Turbines use with Lord of the Rings Online and the free-to-play model and how that works out. It's worked out pretty good. It doesn't necessarily work with other games, but I hope that we don't get any microtransactions, but that's because I'm cheap.
What I'm wondering is that in the one thing about like the Proto-Jake scenario is that everyone could kind of congregate in Stormwind or Orgrimmar where you could show off your Proto-Jake. I'm not really sure in TOR if do they have that where people
capital
kind of,
cities.
Dromund Coruscant.
Are we sure that everybody can just hound up there and show off their new speeder bike that they bought?
I guess.
You should be able to, although unless they make the speeder bikes only usable out in the open, like on Tatooine's desert.
I love
you and your beta!
I know.
NDA. And do they have mailboxes that I can dance on?
Nonsense. I think you can say no to that one right now.
Anytime anybody's going to ask me to tell them a secret, I'm just going to say NDA.
I'm trying to remember if you can dance on the mailboxes. I don't know.
Go try that.
I'll have to try. Oh, you can't now, but...
How are the
Noggin
dances?
Fogger in there?
Huh?
That's my favorite. Noggin Fogger. You know you...
the skeleton potion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you turn into the pirate or the ninja.
So, yeah, there's going to be grinding. We do know we have achievements in SWTOR. We don't know how that's going to be hooked up to the rest of the world. I like achievements because it gives me some sense of I've done something, but, I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to work really hard to get an achievement or a title or something like that and have it, trivialized
diluted.
the very next, trivialized or diluted the next patch or next expansion. So, who knows?
Well, I mean, and you also have to take into consideration that I know in the collector's edition, the box collector's edition, they have that little bit of extra for
access to the VIP lounge. Yes.
Right.
VIP lounge. It's going to be so much fun.
But I think that opens up that possibility of microtransactions, depending on how long they hold that hostage to VIPs. And do they offer that to people who didn't buy the collector's edition, but afterwards a little microtransaction later, they now have access.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
What I would like to see is out of a page from Blizzard is I would eventually like to see the tools provided by BioWare if they do it themselves or whatnot, like an armory type system that would allow you to then view your characters and your achievements and.
Oh, I would love that.
That's what they could have been working on these past 2 downtimes of the main site.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Also, somebody, I don't know, it was something I read. They actually, it looks like during the last 24-hour down cycle, they actually moved locations of servers from the West Coast to
Yes, that was me. I posted.
Oh, awesome. See, I read it somewhere. I read it on the internet, so it's true.
Oh my god.
But I hope that we have like web access like that. I'd also love to see, and this is just a wish list, a way to kick off jobs on your companions while offline, since they can craft while you're offline.
Wait, I thought you could already. I thought they said that you could tell them to do something and log out.
Well, you can, but once they're done crafting that one thing, you'd have to log back in and tell them to do something else.
I thought there was a queue. Say 1, 2, 3, log out. Well, listen, my G13 has macro keys, so hopefully that works.
Hold on, I'm fixing the stream. All of a sudden it asked, "Are you still there?" All right, so that's stuff that's happening.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that I thought about the two big events of this week is when the press embargo lifted, holy crap, there was a fire hoses information, and it lasted for several hours. The Blizzard one, as big as it was kind of like condensed to maybe an hour or two major fire hose, and then it's just trickled off, and now people are griping and complaining, and there's a lot of people unhappy. There's a lot of people.
Seems so.
It could either really excite some, or it could really help booster our numbers.
I got this sense of like Asian backlash. That surprised me. Just because it's got an Asian flavor, some people unhappy. That's a surprise.
But that's always been the Pandarans. They've always been the sake drinking drunkards.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, even in Warcraft 3, it was the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
So
Panda.
But I think that really dictates the kind of the direction of where the kind of influence that the Old Republic has. Is that I think if there was no Old Republic and this announcement from BlizzCon happened,
right,
it would have carried for a while. People would have been still talking about the talent trees and the Pokemon and all of it. They would have been talking about it for about a week or 2 weeks almost. But because there's something else out there, this is not enough. This is not enough.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
The pet collector in me, because I was a pet collector in WoW, and the Pokemon lover since the age of 10 in me would have been talking about this whole thing and trying to discover all these little, like the new Pokemon minigame forever.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for that squirrel that's been haunting me in Dalaran for a while now. That damn squirrel.
Are they charging $50 for this for the expansion then? Wow.
Yeah, that is a good question. How much are they going to charge?
And a collector's edition, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
I tell you this, if they charge $0 for it, I would pay a $15 subscription fee to try it out. But there's no way I'm paying $50. And if I had to pay $50, maybe for $5 a month I might come back, but not for $15. There's just no way.
Right.
So they need to adjust their prices as far as I'm concerned.
They do. The thing is,
that'd be interesting.
If they're gonna get anyone new, you have to be a new player in WoW. You have to get the main one. What is it? Main one, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, and this one.
Yeah,
That's 5 different games to play one game for $15 a month.
That's crazy.
It's a big investment for something that's kind of dying.
You get the first 2 for $20 combined, and then I think each one after that. What do they? So according to Amazon, $90 right now to get all of it.
Wow.
90.
Let's see here. Andy just posted.
That's
I'm going to
pretty
share
harsh.
a link with everybody. Andy is I sheep things. He's stuck in the Twitch TV chat. He can't get in.
I like Andy.
He's awesome. Let me post this link. It's a video that he posted. It says it hates him. No, it doesn't hate you. He says out of 4 days, it's got 15K views on this particular video. I wish I could.
Oh, this video, it's the
trailer.
preview trailer. Yeah. It's 2 million views.
So
I've already seen it.
A lot of people are watching it. It's going to appeal to some, but we'll see what happens.
The one you should watch is the Diablo 3 trailer. That was pretty good.
Or the Skyrim live-action trailer.
I have not seen that.
How many dislikes does it
pricing,
have?
You reminded me, and then we got sidetracked for a second. The pricing could actually play in our favor. When you got 2 big hitters, and if one of them starts to wager a price battle, that could mean that even our monthly subscription could eventually go down depending on what happens. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, Melissa's right. Look at the dislikes.
Mike's dislikes, what are they?
Chevette pointed it out.
Oh,
Wow.
Chevette, nice job. That's nuts.
That is nuts.
I mean, the positives are still winning, but still.
It's like this close.
Really quick, if you listen to the Instance podcast, those guys, I love those guys.
Yeah.
And they actually, they I don't know if they're just good spin doctors, but they were there and they saw it, and they're nothing but pumped for it. And so you listen to the guys, you can't help but feel like, I mean, Blizzard knows what they're doing. I mean, it's Blizzard. They've always known what they're doing. So
Wait. They're Blizzard, but look, they have torn their community into half and half.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that was the other thing to mention, that some of this could be the fact that Titan is on the horizon, and a good chunk of the company has been pulled into that project. That's why when Titan is eventually released, this is something going to be watching out for. That could be why this is so limited. And I'm just speculating here, but it makes sense. They've pulled a lot of their programmers. Titan is their code project for their next MMO or their next game that they're releasing and been working on in secrecy for the last, was it 2-3 years?
Okay.
Let's ask what Titan is. So that could be why this isn't a combination of it's light on content because most of their creative developers and everything are already tied up in a project that they have to put a lot of work into. Also that they do feel the pressure. You cannot deny the fact that for the first time Blizzard is responding to this, because I'm sorry, Rift was exciting, it was a good game, it was a small fish in a huge pond. BioWare is a huge player, backed by a huge publisher. And so I think, and there's another angle to go with. You've got EA against Activision. They're publishers. They're the ones that are watching the bottom line. As a matter of fact, many people can make the argument that, wow, Blizzard has had to do a lot of things mainly because Activision's been pushing them to do stuff much ahead of the curve that they want to or were used to doing. So who knows? A lot of these things going on. Or a global agenda.
I think Blizzard's given they're given a wide berth with. I mean, Activision. From what I understand, Activision generally doesn't mess with them at all, and if they do, Blizzard will pretty much tell them to go.
Right.
One, but you could be right. I mean, we don't know.
It's all about money.
Here's an interesting thing. One of my guildmates in the guild Genesis, he actually went to BlizzCon. He wore a Star Wars The Old Republic t-shirt. They told him he had to take it off or he was kicked out.
Nice.
He had to take it off when he walked in,
crazy.
or else he would be removed from the con.
That's
Wow.
Oh, that's
Petty.
That is petty. I'll give him that. That's petty.
All right. So whatever it means, I'm not.
That's funny though.
I'm not willing to go back to WoW. I'm not playing any. I mean, I'm playing LOTRO a little bit. I've actually been doing more web development the last couple of days. We're down to 57, 58 days. Is it? Somebody tell me.
I thought it was like 60.
Oh,
a month and 25 days. That's what I last saw.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
And I'm just busy trying to recruit. I got another person to join the guild, so that's what I've been doing.
Trying to recruit, and also I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to get organization for our group that there's stuff that we need to have in place by the time this goes live, which is going to be quick. Yeah. All of those of us in guilds or running guilds, we're starting to run out of time. We think we got a lot of time, but
it's actually less than 56 for anybody who's pre-ordered.
Right.
That's right, and we don't know what the absolute time is on that.
54.
56 days, 6 hours, and 29 days.
I mean, my guess it's between 30 days and a week of pre-access. So.
Well, we've got a couple people in the Twitch TV chat asking some questions, so we're getting close to the hour mark. Let me go ahead and give everybody a chance to pimp your guilds, because somebody asked, can I join your guild? So those of you who want to advertise your guild, go ahead and give a quick shout out. And I can go first if you want to make sure I don't take the spotlight. Redeemed is a republic. We play on an RP PvE server. We are not an RP server or an RP guild per chance. We are open to RP and actually very open to it. But
and bearded.
And we are at guildredeemed.com. We are, like I said, Republic, and we are West Coast time zone for the server, but we have players from all over the time zone, so that's just how it works out. Who would like to go next?
I am a part of the guild Genesis. We are also a West Coast guild. However, I am an East Coaster. That's fine. We're still deciding whether or not we will be PvE or PvP, but our server will be a PvE server, but the main focus is split currently. We are Sith Guild. We're taking on any challengers. So if you want to come join. Our website is genesis-tor.engine.com.
Banana or fan of sea salmon.
I know, right? We just moved there, so.
Wait, what time zone?
West Coast.
Oh my gosh!
I'm an East Coaster. How do you think I feel? I'm off living in D.C. and everybody's over in California.
No.
How many times have I had to put on East
Go
Coast?
to Central. BioWare time, okay? BioWare time is the right time, people. Oh my gosh.
We are, I'll go. Before Johnny plugs. I always feel bad trying to plug my guild in Google Plus because I'm like, oh, but Johnny's plugging his guild. And
I plus everybody.
But we are a Sith guild. We're Disciples of Chaos. We're on East Coast. We are disciplesofchaos.com. Thank you, Mike. But we are a endgame focused guild. We're not elitist hardcore, but we are focused on getting endgame. That is what we want to do. We're tired of getting into endgame and then people being like, yes, I'll show up for the guild run, and then nobody coming. So it doesn't mean that you have to rush to finish the game or anything like that. We're not powerhousing to make end cap and then do that. But once we hit level cap, we expect everybody to.
You mean you want responsible people?
Yes, it would be nice.
All right, anybody else?
I guess I'll go. Hi, everyone. I'm Johnny from Sith Vengeance, sithvengeance.com. We are a PvE East guild, but we do have West Coast members, and we're interested in building an Empire guild that's a Sith guild with a very tight brotherhood. We're looking to be a small, close-knit group, and we hope you consider joining us.
And I don't have any advertisers or anything, but man, I do want to pimp Engine today.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reason is I spent the weekend, and this is a freebie, this is from Guildmasters trying to find resources and things. I spent the weekend actually going back and forth between Drupal, WordPress, PHP, a couple other things, just trying to get things tied in together for a new site for our home. We're on Engine, and I was a little frustrated with the default template. It was a little sluggish and slow. I spent 2 days working on this, and I'm not really a coder. I'm a designer and a development guy, and it just always gets frustrating to try to tie everything else. Finally, I went back to Engine, our site, and I tore into their theme deal, and I have to say it looks pretty schmexy. If you go to our guild site and look at what we've managed to do, you can really do some amazing things with their site. I'm so impressed, and man, maybe they should give us a kickback, but
I agree.
So if you're looking for some place to roll that out,
Mike, I definitely started my site there because you started your site there, and I know that some other people started their site there because we started our sites there. So definitely, there's been some benefit.
My guild just moved there like yesterday from guild launch, and we all love Engine. Just Genesis love the Engine.
My guild is going to be Republic, and it's called Delusions of Grandeur. And if you've ever seen multiplane.net on the forums, that's where we're set up.
Nice.
And everyone's really. I'm going with them because they're a real fun bunch of guys, and they're not my same personality as I do. And up for a good joke and stuff. Definitely more casual.
Cool.
And what was that? What was that website?
Multiplane.net, and then go to the forums.
Does your little girl want to plug a guild? Dave?
Oh, that's Connor. It's a little boy.
Oh. Sorry.
Say hi, buddy.
Hey, he's the perfect age for Sith Vengeance.
No, that's the Jedi, man. Come on,
he could be
dude.
our tank.
He's too old to join the Jedi. They have to be torn straight from the mother's womb.
Yeah, right. Say hi, buddy.
All right. Well, guys, I don't want to cut this too short, but this has been a great hangout, our 5th one. And it is that time of night. I got the 5-minute warning. Dinner's ready. But fantastic time. Remember that use Google Plus as a tool for us to get the community built up, because we still have this time and we don't want it to be like the WoW community, so we want to encourage everybody. And we're going to start thinking, because like I said, we've got 16 people sitting in the Twitch TV stream right now, and I wish Google would allow us to have more than 10 people in a Hangout.
Hey, Mike,
talk about the possibility of two
Yeah, one of the questions was about starting 2 simultaneous Hangouts. Do you think maybe next week we can give that a shot?
That might be something. That might be something we look at doing. So I'll pass out and kick out some ideas in Google Plus along that and see if we can get our heads together and do that. So thank you, everybody, for coming.
Great.
Have a great evening, and see you all real soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys.